Chad, are you able to hear me?
We haven't started yet, Anthony, so we'll get you in here shortly. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and you should be able to turn your camera off. Well, here's what we'll do. Hold on one second. Okay, so you're the host now, so you should be able to go ahead and share your screen with the PowerPoint. No, actually, stop that sharing. Perfect. Now go to share again. Go to Window. Now your PowerPoint right there. Hit share. Perfect. Now they can see that out in
so I can work this.
Yep. So you can work that. So just until we get you started, go ahead and unshare that again. Okay. And make me the host, and then when you're ready to start,
So go Window. Boom.
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. So just cancel that for now, and then I can take back over, I think, as the host. Or actually go ahead and click on yours up there. Pull down that 3 little arrows there. Okay, click on me over there. Click on those 3 little arrows. And then make host. Perfect. Okay. Beautiful.
I'll try to remember that whenever I'm...
Yeah, we'll get it done. I'll make sure we're good to go. So... Okay.
All right. So I'm good to just work from here once.
Yeah, once we get started. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
There we go. Actually, now unplug you. Let's see what happens. Nope, you shouldn't need to be on the TV.
So that'll allow everyone that's on the same day.
Yeah, once we make you the host and put that on there, you'll be good to go.
There. That's getting bigger. Yeah, even bigger.
Okay.
invoices assigned to before you guys leave. Also on top of our. Bob. He's not coming. He's not. Let's. You want to scratch your name through there and trust that? Yes. Scratch your name through there, yeah. Sign it with your right hand. Thank you, sir. Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty weak. My shuffleboard skills are not very good.
One star. It's not like there is all that.
All right. All right. Open a minute, meeting. There's a quorum present. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I do have one item, quick item under new business, if you don't mind, 10.9 surplus extrication equipment.
Okay. Would like to suspend the order of business so we can hear from two individuals? Sure. All right, and then we'll proceed from there. That way they don't have to sit here and listen to us gab for hours.
We appreciate it.
I'm gonna go ahead and steer from the computer up here, guys. My name's Chad Roars with Freedom Solar. Project manager, so we'll be back there. We're gonna leave the cards on the table too. Me and Brian had already, we've discussed potential solar enhancement on both your fire stations here. Started several weeks ago. I think I was actually gonna try to get into your meeting last month. We've done full feasibility analysis for both the station houses. Based on quite a few factors. One, just simply the size of the systems. The one, station 2 versus station 1, it's about half the size. Based on the the electrical consumption that the Brian provided me. Just the system size, you guys use a lot less energy over at the other location. So we've gone through quite a bit of this already, just based on what he was telling me. If we were going to, we'd love to do the project. If we were going to do this, we would look at it as phases. Look at station 2 first, since it looked like there was not nearly as many potential variables with it. And then station 1, we would look at down the road. Let me start with the initial feasibilities that we do. That's not the right one.
Did I mess you up by sharing that screen?
Well, it didn't go to the screen I was wanting it to go to.
You need to go to the internet.
Sure.
And window again. That one there.
Should be this one. Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, now we're good.
And then you should.
Now we're good. Okay. So real quick, this is what the first thing we do whenever we're doing an analysis for for a building like these two is, first, we got to check out the shade, see, see what type of radiance is available for the building. This is Firehouse 2. When we're looking at this, and we have a bunch of different softwares that we use, I ran it through 2 of our different softwares. But this one's pretty self-explanatory. Down here, it's talking about irradiance, the amount of sun that it's going to get over the course of each day and then throughout the year. Down here, anytime we're looking at, just for the sake of time, anytime we're seeing 100s, 98s, that's very, very good. When you're looking at efficiency, anything over 70, 75% and up is considered, qualifying. There's enough there. Fire Station 2 is absolutely gorgeous as far as how much sun that the site's going to be able to get for us. Plus, on the system size I'll show you too, there's plenty of room for us to offset the energy over there, just simply based on this side of the building. We get a couple other different views of the building. This just kind of shows, is to make sure that our modeling software is correct. We're getting the most accurate information. We use, LiDAR, things like that on there too. But I also did Fire Station 1, where we're sitting right here. This one, based on the size of the system required, since the energy is, you guys use quite a bit more over here, we got to look at more of the placement on here, and you can see the numbers still pretty good. Overall annual TSRF, 86%. So overall, still feasible. Not anything like we see out in California or Vegas, where these roofs are white whenever we look at them because of so much sun. But still, this would definitely be considered a qualifying roof. The Station 2, though, the one I know that we're looking at a little bit more right now, here's what some of the numbers are going to be. And I didn't include, Tony and introduce him yet. Tony's actually, he's our owner and engineer. He's based out in Vegas. He grew up in town, though. Brian, is there a chance, did you say that Tony can share with the group?
Yeah, I was just gonna do something.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna bring Tony in here in just a actually, if I can, does he just unmute himself?
Yep.
Hey, Tony, can you introduce yourself, man? I apologize, I blew right by you.
Hey, gentlemen, thanks for your time today. My name is Anthony DeClue. I developed Freedom Solar Group after I retired from the military.
Hold on one sec, Tony.
Hold on, Tony, we can't hear you.
Oh, you got to unmute me, yeah. Are we good now?
Tony,
Can you hear me?
try chatting with us again?
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm talking. Having problems with unmute.
No.
I think some information I was wanting to.
Yeah, hold on one sec, guys.
Here at the bottom of his computer screen, still showing muted on his,
On his end.
no, on yours.
How about now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? How about now? Hello?
Fine. How about now? Tony, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
Beautiful. Now we should be good.
Brian's our IT guy. No, Tony, I just wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself real quick before I blow all of our time. I know how important that, developing Missouri and specifically Jefferson County is to you, even though you're out in Vegas.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for your time tonight. Freedom Solar, I developed after I retired from the military. I spent 30 years in there. and retired, got bored of the retired life, and I'm passionate about renewable energy. And so that's how Freedom Solar started. And I started out here with my Western division out here, Southwestern division, and I did really well. And so I started expanding in the Midwest, and Chad's kind of heading up the development in the Midwest. I wanted to bring solar to my hometown in Jefferson County, and of course, statewide. We've been in the Midwest for 2 years. We've been, gaining traction as far as solar. It's not as prevalent as it is in California, Nevada, Arizona, where I'm at here. Freedom Solar has 3 divisions. We have the Southwest division, we have Midwest division, and the East Coast division. We're also an international company. I just finished up a 100 megawatt project in India. And in October, after the election ban, we'll be in the Philippines for a good while. We got a lot of projects over there. Freedom Solar is a full service solar company. We do residential, commercial, microgrids, industrial, utility scale, and also private owned solar facilities that we're doing a lot of them in California right now. Basically for us is the expansion into the Midwest is headed up by Chad, and Chad's going to go over some numbers. He's going to probably hand it back over to me to talk about some financing options. Look how you can actually benefit from your tax credits, which we'll cover at the end. Chad, it's all you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. Let's see if I can get this back up here. All right, so the shade reports were good to go. The station 2, that's where we're kind of thinking that would be the easiest one to start, and financially looks like it actually makes the most sense right out of the chute too. This is these proposals, and you guys are going to have digital copies of all these as well too. These are preliminary based on the information that I've gotten so far from Brian. If we were going to move forward, we would do a little bit more due diligence before we finalize the system. You guys would get actually final engineering drawings and final numbers and stuff. But based on this is definitely close enough to where you guys could wrap your mind around it and see if it's something that that's actually able to move forward on. So I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick. The system size on the Station 2, 15 kilowatt system. It's actually, to be honest with you guys, about the same size as most residential houses. You just don't use a ton of energy over there. The total system cost $53,200. The panels and inverters, these could potentially fluctuate between now and when we'd actually install. I did several simulations between the 2 different softwares that we use, different watt sizes. This is one I know this system size would definitely work for your house, but or for the fire station. But if there's something between now and install that maybe we get a better deal on a same quality tier 1 25-year panel, then like I said, those could potentially change. But I know this system here works. This is just some more Skyview. That's the actual total cost of the system. The federal tax incentive on this, almost $14,000, a little over $5,000 in Ameren rebate. You guys can read through this stuff later. Tony kind of told you. This is an interesting slide here. So again, based on the historical usage that I have so far for this is Fire Station 2, the average current bill, little over $140. This graph shows what, if you look at the escalation rate, we all know that, electric bills continue to go up every year. Over the course of the next 25 years, if you did not get solar, your bill would be, again, these are approximates, maybe a little over $800 over the next 25 years. You can see how that gradually increases. However, if you guys did get solar over there, then you would be locking that in. And you can see the difference here. This is where you guys, this is how you make the money back on your energy is right here by owning it, not continuing to get stuck with that escalation rate. Snapshot of what the system looks like over there. Again, like I said, 15 kilowatt system, right at 100%, this many panels based on the size of of the panel, 100% of the energy will be offset over there. and about 85% of the bill would be offset. Solar only offsets the kilowatt hours, the actual energy that you're using. That's what the solar, that it offsets that. Whatever other fees, charges, things that, there's an interconnection fee. You're still going to have a bill, but you're not going to be paying for the energy. You're going to be paying just to be hooked up to their grid. Here's a snapshot based on this chart up here. Represents this amount of savings, about $70,000 over the course of the next 25 years. With solar, without, again, just shows the differences in what your payment would be then, moving forward with it. This breaks down the incentives that you guys would get. The federal tax credit we discussed before. Tony has a solution for that. We'll share that here in a little bit where you guys can take advantage of the federal tax credit still. The Ameren rebate, that's going to come right back to you guys as a check. You use it however you guys want to use it. So this helps offset the cost of the overall cost of the system. So this is based off of a cash deal. Again, that's your estimated savings based on this software. The total system cost, this is your Ameren rebate. That's your tax incentive right there. Your net system cost a little over 35 grand. Based on this broken down into a cash flow, your payback period, around 13 years, somewhere in there, based on that slide there. This is just, some added benefits to going solar. If it's on your house or on a building, obviously, if you have a solar system on it, you just increase the value of that building. And then the, economical or the environmental, impacts of it too. It's just anytime you're using green energy versus dirty energy, then, you're doing your part. So that's this system. Like I said, I ran this through two different softwares. So you're basically getting two bids right out of the chute. I used two different softwares with the same numbers. So I wanted to see how close they would actually come out, and they did shake out pretty much the same. This one is, here, let me go to this other, stay on station 2. So here's station 2 in a different software that we use. Plugged in the exact same electrical usage costs. You can see the averages here. This is what you're spending. If you don't get solar, this is what you guys are going to have going out over there in energy anyway, 85 grand over the next 25 years. That's based on 6% inflation rate. Here's the same system. I use the same panels, everything exact same in this here. This has it almost at 100% also. So again, that's, kind of, we believe in redundancies whenever we do designs, which is exactly what you're trying to get, right around 100%, energy offset. I mean, unless you guys are planning on putting a hot tub out back or something over there, foresee your energy changing at all, then this system size should cover what you guys have going on over there. Financial analysis, this has payback period the same, between 13, 14 years. That's your annual savings, 180% return on investment. Upfront costs, that's your incentives there, same net. So you can see it spit out basically the exact same numbers through this system as it did the other one. You can see your cash flow. You guys are cash positive at around, year 13, 14 is whenever you guys are cash positive. So that's station 2. Station 1, Brian, do you want to get into it? Honestly, guys, it's very simple because the system size and cost for station 1 versus station 2 is almost exactly double, one from the other. System 1, we're looking at for station 1, a little over 30 kilowatt system. The one over there is 15, so it's almost exactly double. And you can see the energy offset. We're good there, covering everything. Payback period's about the same. Like I said, the cost is about double. Incentives are all reflective of the cost. So, the ITCs go up, Ameren rebate goes up, net system cost right here. But we both kind of agreed, Brian and I, that if we were going to pursue station 1, that would be secondary. That'd be a phase two. Just because I know there's some electrical add-ons, sub panels. It's not as clean of a, there's a little bit more adders. We'd have to put a little bit more work. Ameren may even require an electrical study over here. So I would say that'd be more of a phase two if we were going to look at, here. And you said maybe even potentially move in properties or something at some point. But station two is, like I said, that one's ready to rock and roll. I would, just for the sake of time, I don't want to take up too much time, because you guys are going to have access to all of this. Brian's, like I said, got digital copies. I've got some copies back there. I would like to let Tony talk a little bit about the ITC solution, federal tax credit solution, and financing options, either for station two here, other projects maybe potentially you guys are looking at. Hey, Tony, can you jump back in with us?
Sure, Chad, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so there's with the financials, okay, it all boils down to what the numbers look like. I understand that. I deal in $1 million projects every day. With your project, the incentive tax credit, you're looking at about 14 grand. I have financiers that are always looking to buy up tax credits. That's one solution, is a private buyer for $1 a tax credit. They'll give you $1. So it'll be an equal exchange. The other thing, I don't know if you're looking at financing. I don't know how you're paying for this, but we also have PACE loans that are available. That's one option of financing. The other, and we're one of the few solar companies that actually have commercial financing. We go through a lot of private. We go through Sigma Capital, which would be a PPA. I don't recommend a PPA because you don't own the system. You get no value. You're still buying your electric from Sigma Capital at a discounted rate, but you don't get the value of equity in it because they own the system. So what I would suggest is that when it comes time at the 18th month, we bring in a private financer of mine. He'll buy the tax credits for you for dollar, and you guys benefit from that. Plus you also have the Ameren rebate, which would be like a cash rebate too. So going solar on the fire station makes 100% sense. You're actually making money off the solar, plus you're increasing the equity value of your building by at least 20%. So do we have any questions on the financing part, or how you guys would like to structure either a loan, cash payment, the buyouts? Because I'm here and I might as well get these questions out of the way for you.
I'm good for now. I'm good for now. I think definitely warrants more discussion.
Oh, my part.
So.
I know that you said coming out of our last meeting, one of the challenges was, how you could take advantage of the ITC. And at that point, I didn't have a solution for you. Tony dug into the Rolodex, and like I said, he has the ability to help solve that problem, turn those, tax credits into dollars for you, dollar for dollar. So that's
one thing I would really have to understand, the legalities behind that and how that all works. Because you're speaking Greek to me right now.
Sure.
When it comes to that, so
that can be another call.
Yeah.
So I can answer that question real quick. Okay, we comply with RESPA. We comply with all the lending regulations. Buying out somebody's tax credit is done every day. Every day. We do a lot of nonprofits. I'm doing a Kingdom Church out here in California, and we're doing the same thing with them. The legalities are fine. It's going to be just a buyout of your tax credits. So at the 18th month or the 19th month, whichever you choose, my financer comes in, you sign paperwork that says I am signing these tax credits over to such and such finance in exchange for dollar to dollar. It's done every day. There's nothing that SEC or RISPA violations have nothing to do with it. These are above board lenders, and they've been around for 30, 40 years, guys. The other way you could do it is get a loan from a bank. You reamortize that loan with your local bank. That pays down your tax credit. So that pays down a loan. So you actually benefit from your tax credits that way. There's many ways of structuring this. And if there's any questions on how to structure it, it'd be a good idea to get them out of the way or schedule another call with me so that we can actually go over them. You know, we deal with the publication 96-146 of the tax code every day in our business, especially with commercial, industrial, and utility scale solar farms. So we can answer them questions. We can get you structured. We can get you matched with a lender that will buy them tax credits out, and you benefit from them. So I hope in your research that you do study the publications and you understand that a private financer can buy tax credits. I mean, it's in the tax code, publication 146, if you want to look that up. Did I explain that clear enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Tony. So yeah, guys, I mean, just to kind of wrap up and sum up, both projects are more than doable for several reasons. I think Fire Station 2 would be the more ideal one to kick off. I know we didn't discuss energy storage. That's usually on any, especially for commercial buildings, we would 100% recommend that. But it'd be a double redundancy here. So you guys already have, you know, the generators, you know, set up at both locations. Otherwise, we would be, you know, recommending, you know, energy storage as well. But yeah, we got you guys covered on the system. Like I said, we can still fine tune some things. Follow up on what Tony was saying. If that's you know, do your own due diligence and research so you're comfortable with that part of the process. Me and Lisa are local. Like I said, Tony's available on Zoom, but out in Vegas. But me and Lisa are both local. You obviously know, you know, your brother works here.
Hey, Chad,
So yeah, yeah, go ahead, Tony.
So this new bill that they're passing in Congress, if it does pass, gentlemen, not getting storage right now makes sense because next year, if this bill passes, you're going to be able to take advantage of 26% tax credit on your storage, is what they're saying in the Green New Deal. If that passes, I don't know if it will, but that's something I wanted to bring up to you. And as far as double redundancy, so we've just looked at fuel prices that have skyrocketed. So your genset, your backup generator, we call them genset, you still got to buy fuel. And that fuel is very expensive right now. So the redundancy of actually having storage and discounting that, we'd go back in, we'd buy your tax credits out on that too. Makes sense because the way the economy is right now. Is the economy going to level out? Or are we going to continue to have $4 and maybe $5 a gallon fuel cost? We don't know. Do you really want the backup to run at $4 a gallon and $5 a gallon? I mean, that's something you need to figure out too. But I do know that the incentive tax credit is going to carry on with commercial jobs no matter what. It'll go down to 22% and then it'll bottom out at 10%. So, you know, looking at that, I would look at it very hard if I was you. That could be very expensive being on a generator for 2 days, 3 days, something like that if there's a power outage. So I just wanted to jump in and share that. Maybe, you know, food for thought for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Questions while we're here, guys? Brian, we covered
I think we're
coming out of our last meeting. Did we
I think
cover
we're good for now. We'll have some further discussion on this and we'll kind of go from there.
Great.
Unless you guys,
I'm good.
Outstanding. All right. I'll go ahead and pass this on. Tony, appreciate it, man. They're going to go ahead and move on with their meeting. You can jump off if you like.
Okay, gentlemen, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, sir. Now,
Like I said, all the documents I was showing you guys and more, Brian's got digital versions and email and provide all that stuff to you guys as we go. And yeah, I think Lisa left some cards back there for us too. Like I said, we're here. We're you know, I live in Arnold and she's down in Crystal City, so we're close. We can swing by whenever.
I don't think I'm looking at the right Zoom here
You just
because I'm not even showing up on. Where am I? There we go. Make the host.
and Brian's back over to you.
Yes, so we should be good there. I'm gonna unplug you. Plug this back in.
Test, test, test. Okay, we should be. We should be back rolling.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Have a good day. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
All right, well, we'll resume the normal order of business. Are there any public comments? If not, let's move on to the approval of the minutes of October 13th.
I'll make that motion.
All right, I'll second it. Motion carried. The financial report.
Yes, sir, as of October 31st, 2021, and the assets in the checking accounts in the general fund at Bank Star, $206,165.50. Capital reserve at Bank Star, $531,504.33. Health reimbursement account at Bank Star, $10,091.48, for a total asset of $747,761.31. And the current liabilities, the payroll liabilities of 1960. And total income expense per period, income 37,281.94, with the expenses of 219,307.62.
Yeah, make a motion to approve as read. All right, all in favor?
Oh, choice, right?
All right, right. Approval of the ordinance to disperse and pay the bills.
I approve.
I vote yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Fire marshal's report, please.
For the month of October, there were 2 building permits issued. Fees charged were $298. Fees collected $610.
Thank you very much. Fire chief's report.
Yeah, again, another record-breaking month for the Hillsborough Fire District in October. We ran 123 calls for service. Kind of glad the brakes have been put on here in November, thank God. It's been much slower than normal here the past week or so. So it's been kind of a nice break. We had several structure fires over the month of October. The biggest fire being a second alarm off of 10 House Road. The crews did a very, very good job of addressing that fire and did a great knock on that. Saved everything inside the house. Very proud of the job they did. High dollar loss, but they still were able to save everybody inside the house. So it's good thing. Both fires were accidental cost. We officially switched back to the old CAD system on November 2nd. It's been a total disaster. It's a nightmare. So we went from bad to worse. So it's been a disaster. I have no other way of putting it.
Nothing works.
Nothing
Text
works.
messages, Rover, emails, nothing works.
It's a nightmare. So I have no answers except we're stuck with what we've got. So which I No COVID issues to report until today. We've got one of our firefighters out on quarantine due to his spouse having. He'll be out and the thermal imaging cameras. I'm sorry, we're still working through the implementation of Verico. Me and Jason have started really digging into that this week. It's going very well. The thermal imaging cameras are in service from the Jefferson Foundation grant that we got back in the springtime. We're still waiting on the 4 gas detectors. Hopefully they will be here soon. We have begun ordering some of the parts for the new staff vehicle. They'll be in sometime between now and I don't know, the end of next year. So it's kind of I really don't have any answers on when that thing will be done, ready to rock and roll. So we had ordered the drawers for the bed of it. Those did come in really quick, and we got those all installed. The light package, no clue when that's going to be in, and all the other stuff. It's what it is, unfortunately. So obviously, it was an extremely rough month for our fleet. A 6513 was involved in a vehicle accident, 21 Y, while responding to a structure fire. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and there was some minor injuries from our folks, but it could have been a heck of a lot worse. So luckily, it wasn't. So both of our crews were taken to Mercy Jefferson to be evaluated for injuries. The insurance claim has been processed. In 6513 is up at Eagle Truck Center in St. Louis for the repairs. They've started to order some parts in, so they've started to kind of move forward with the project with all of that. So the initial estimate is attached to this report as well, and total damages were at $19,599.23. So I have no estimate on how long it'll take because there's.
And that would be the party's fault for the bit of return. I mean, we're going through our own insurance companies.
We are, and they posed the question. Evidently, with commercial insurance, maybe it's the same way in the automotive world. I don't know. You have the option to subrogate or not subrogate. So I talked to Grant, and I'm like, why would you not subrogate if it's not your fault? He goes, well, if you hit your grandma or another family member or something along the lines of that, you made she's not subrogate. I said, well, if you don't subrogate, does that go against your own insurance? He goes, well, yeah, it goes against your insurance.
Poor grandma.
I said, well, that's what I said. I said, well, we need to subrogate and pursue the damages from the person, that we did, both the medical and vehicle damage with that. So,
And sometimes that can take time, so just to get it done now.
our insurance company is handling it at one time. As far as fault, I have not received a copy of the police report yet. I was kind of waiting for the insurance company to obtain that and then send it to us, but they don't have it soon. I'll have to reach out to the highway patrol. We'll probably have to travel up to see the cash. We'll figure something out with that. So I really don't have it. How that, I don't know what our guy said. Pulled out in front of them, but what the highway patrol would determine. If we told you now, it would be off your set. So, pump and ladder testing was completed on all district apparatus in early November and passed. All hose has been tested. We lost 6 sections of hose that we need to replace due to failure during the test. I did authorize them to go ahead and make that purchase since we need the hose. And somewhere around the $2,000 mark for those 6 sections. So, multiple training hours were completed over the past month, and even with everything going on, the crews got in there and got it done. So we're halfway recovering from Fire Prevention Month. It went great, and we reached a multitude of children over the past month. And CPR stuff is continuing. Further along in the board packet is an update on the tax increase. Gary, I forgot to print a copy of the minutes from the meeting Monday night. I'll district-wide meeting was held on 10/25, was pretty poorly attended. And we'll have to individually kind of meet with the other crews to go over some of it. But a committee was formed and staff has begun the planning process of tax increase. We met again Monday evening. We're getting some ideas down on paper for the marketing side of things. We've got some folks working on financing the campaign and how we're going to get money and how we're going to actually run that campaign and get things going. So the committee is talking about a name change to the proposition to kind of rebrand it. There's some ideas being thrown around about that. Hopefully we'll have a good idea of what that will be by the December board. So there'll be a lot of stuff on the ballot. In November. So I said November, August, April, good Lord. I'm hitting all the election months, just the wrong election months, sorry. So we're gonna have to hit the ground running and get out there and get this done. So it's gonna be a tough. But what do you do? Keep pushing forward.
On communication.
Yes, I am extremely happy to announce 2 additional grants that we received. We received notification from the VW grant that we did receive $120,000 to assist with replacing 6523. There's some details of that grant that we weren't quite aware of at the time, like we have to have a purchase order in hand to the vendor in 45 days. So we're working through that and we will get that done and moving in the right direction. So we'll get that done. So we'll get it done, I promise.
Several month process, not that.
Yeah, we'll get it done. In the second notification, we received another grant from the Jefferson Foundation for $15,867.20 to purchase a Lucas CPR device, which will assist with cardiac arrest and our crews providing good CPR to hopefully increase our life-saving mechanisms. So awesome job by everyone involved with that for sure.
Old business is none. New business, we've already seen the presentation.
We did.
Any discussion on that? My personal opinion, there's a lot more things we need around this firehouse.
Well, I mean, I think you almost have to wait for after the tax issue would pass.
Oh,
And again, I don't know what public perception would be if you put solar panels on. I didn't have a clue how it really worked. I just, I don't know.
I had the single ounce of thought. They wanted to meet, I met.
Right. And it's gonna be 13 to 14 years before we get a return. And then 25 years. What about in 10 years when it's obsolete, or they need to do this, or they need to do that, or, it's a.
Roof on, you need to put a new roof on it.
Right.
Now you gotta take down all the solar panels to change the roof.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good concept. I do.
But the tax credit just sounds a little shady. But
Well,
not shady, but,
They cannot grasp the concept that you can't get tax credits as a government entity when you file no tax returns to get those credits. Well, so I try to explain that to them over and over again.
For a
No.
government, yeah,
We
government
don't
entity.
file a tax return, there's no credits to be given.
Right.
So it makes,
I don't know how you forward a tax credit to a government agency that's from a government
it
agency.
doesn't pay tax.
It doesn't pay tax. So.
and then the equity, the bit of equity for the fire. Yeah, I don't think.
Well, that's, yeah, I mean, that, you know, it's a great thought for a private business for sure. Sure. But
I would say, we want to know about it. That we take with.
Yeah, we just say it wasn't.
it's on the long range plan right now at this point in time.
Okay, the 2022 updated.
Yes, I have included a copy of the updated strategic management plan. I'd like to point out under the report card from last year, which is kind of a progress report, that we really did a good job achieving a lot of the goals the board and district have set forth. So everybody's doing a really, really good job with that. Obviously, one of the main goals that we have not met yet is tax levy and getting that passed, but we'll continue to work on that. We will get that done eventually. So our long range goals obviously are still a thing that we are working on to maintain those 6 full-time firefighters that are hired. You know, we'll continue, even though it's not in the immediate plans for a new firehouse, we'll continue to have that as a goal because it's still something that is needed. We don't just, you know, kind of eliminate that goal. We gotta have it. So, I'll jump forward now to our goals for the upcoming year. Again, consider a tax levy, which we're in the process of doing. Goal number 2 is complete putting the new 6,500 vehicle in service and get the old ones sold at some point in time. Number 3, if delivered, that's a big if, place and get the new 6523 in service. Again, that time frame could definitely change. Goal 4, as always, continue placing money in the appropriate funds for our future expenses and budgeting for them and planning for them. Continue to apply for all grants available for manpower and capital projects to offset the cost of taxpayers. Goal number 6, consider using the capital reserve funds at some point in the near future to consider some upgrades to this station. And I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about we need new flooring, we need a kitchen remodel upstairs, we need a bathroom remodel. We just have some stuff that we're going to stay here is going to have to be done here in the near future, unfortunately. Take the potential of a consider a portable building on our new property across the street, and I mean a shed or a 2-car portable garage of some sort to help with some storage issues around here. They're rather inexpensive. So get the new training facility that has been in the works and got signed the initial intent last year, and we're working towards getting that finalized and the plans set for that now. We'll be more on that at the next meeting. And goal number 9, short-term, continue embracing community partnerships with other governmental and private entities. So I think the relationships that we've built have been very beneficial, and we need to continue to build those relationships moving forward. Again, long-term goals moving forward, maintain 6 full-time firefighters. Long-term goal number 2, build a firehouse. Long-term goal number 3, again, consider a remodel here. That's under short and long-term goals because that may not be next year, but maybe a little bit further down the road. Create a sustainable source of funding for the future of the Hillsborough Fire District. We're still working towards that. As always, continue to provide quality emergency services to our community, which these guys are out there doing every single day, and they're doing a phenomenal job of that. Continue to enhance our fire prevention service to the community, and ensure our paid staff and volunteers have a source of training, career advancement, and safe fireground operation practices in a career they can start. Next page goes over the capital purchase plans for where we're at. Several of these were already completed, you know, a few months early this year. So nothing really planned for 2023, unless 6523 decides to show up before the end of 2023. Then we would go ahead and purchase that. Any further questions on management plan? Do you guys have anything you wanted to add, subtracted?
No, this time.
No problem.
District reporting management system.
Should we have a motion in the minutes to adopt the strategic management plan?
Oh, sure, yeah, okay, I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Perfect. As you know, we kind of talked about a few months ago, I was doing emergency reporting our current management, not management, but records keeping system. We do our fire reports on, inventory, we track everything on. It has been bought out by a company called ESO. They're going to eliminate the current platform that we are using and push everybody to ESO at some point in the near future. I don't know when that'll be. It'll be at some point next year. That's kind of what I gather. At some point next year, we'll be pushed over to the platform. So we started kind of shopping around. We didn't want to continue to sink money into emergency reporting while they go through this 5-year transition plan to get everything moved over to ESO. And ESO is quite costly. So we started looking at some options, and this company called First View really stood out as a phenomenal company to do business with. I think almost the first time that Jason and us looked at it, we were kind of hooked.
First demo was.
Yeah. A lot of the other guys have hopefully demoed it as well too. I sent it out to them. Most of them I don't think would care per se. I've heard a lot of us. Yeah. So it's my recommendation that starting now, and it's budgeted moving forward, it is a little more expensive than emergency reporting, that we switch over to a company called First View. Included a copy of the contract in the report packet, and for the first year with setup, it is $8,380 first year initial setup, and the price will drop back once you're through the setup to $7,880. This will replace some of our other stuff as well too. It's a full-on suite from record keeping all the way up to response. So they have an app for response, much like Rover and emergency reporting, or I'm sorry, Active 911, things like that. So it has been budgeted for next year. I'd like to go ahead and pull the trigger so we can get all.
Do you have a different thing for scheduling?
Yes,
Okay, I thought
there is a Verico
that,
for.
very good, yeah.
In Verico, this does have a scheduling suite
Right,
within it. However, Verico has so much more than this suite. All of our personnel records are going to Verico, so we're going electronic with all of our personnel records, which has been phenomenal. And our certification tracking, which First View kind of has certification tracking, but not like it did. And we definitely have issues in the certification tracking arena and keeping up with everybody's certification. We had an employee working here for 2 months now on a expired driver's license, so
okay,
we're definitely up in our game with that. So,
all right, I have no problem with it, I mean, it sounds like, but yeah, exactly, so I make a motion to approve that. All in favor, aye?
we really did up our, what's it?
Nothing.
I thought you said something else.
Oh,
It wasn't what I thought it was.
Next program we'd like to purchase as well too is called First Arriving. And what this will do is it'll take our calls, it'll take department news, department messages, weather, road closures, all the information that we struggle getting out to all of our employees on what's called a digital dashboard, or TV, stream from a computer, for lack of better terms. It'll be mounted at one house and 2 houses. So we get a call, it's integrated with this First View system. It'll pop up on the screen, map, directions, hire to that call. It'll just do any number of things that we wanted to try to increase
say somebody logs into emergency reporting and puts a piece of equipment out of service. The crews aren't gonna really know until they log in emergency reporting later that day. Well, this new thing will display it on the screen, so you guys are walking by, you can read what all about service and start there.
Which we really struggle with communication, as any organization does. So I think it's huge to better use. Every fire chief in an organization that I've talked to that have gone to this loves it. So it's one of the greatest things I've ever done. So, cost per year, it's rather cheap, combined for both engine houses is $958.80 per year. Well, then there's a discount. Take advantage of an emergency reporting savings right before we get them to the curb. So, initial cost is $1,854.30, and then it drops to $958 annually once the setup is done. Taking out the equipment budget this year and then budget for the software next year.
I can believe what I like.
It's great. It'll be hugely beneficial. You guys are probably sitting in the back on the, but it's,
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
the information they can get across, and it is integrated. One house, two houses see the same stuff that, one house says, so.
We were going nuts and saw it. I was looking at the one screen, said you come in that morning, and it's got the schedule on there, shows Nathan and Jake, house 2, March and Mason, house 1, and you're on, you guys automatically working, trade time, and automatically be on there, you don't know where.
Put any kind of notes on it or anything?
Oh, yeah, you can put all kinds of stuff.
We all
looking at or something.
Probably.
You got equipment on the service that shows.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
No questions.
Yep.
All right, man, what do you think? All right, thank you. Motion? Okay, we're done. Perfect. All right. MABAS agreement.
That is
Mutual aid agreement,
a
right?
MABUS mutual aid agreement. This is an agreement that is required by Illinois state law to basically cross the river and cause less problems when we need equipment from Illinois or they need equipment from us. The MABUS group, which covers all of them. It's not, well, there's different MABUS regions throughout Illinois. They have some amazing equipment over in Illinois that we do not have here in the state of Missouri. One being a very large ventilation fan mounted on the back of a truck. Most recently, it was used on a fire over Peabody just last month, 2 months ago, wherever they were. There was a big metal tech fell in the burn again over there. Called it down to help ventilate the building. We have some extremely large buildings. I would have called that fan truck down on the college fire we had a few years ago. It took us about 3 hours to manually ventilate that building. It's $100 a year, which is nothing to join Davis, but you're part of this agreement. If you request that equipment, you get it for free. Whereas if you're not, then they have hazmat teams, they have technical rescue teams, they have all kinds of really good stuff over there. I think it'd be really beneficial. Most all the other fire departments in the area have already signed on to the MABUS agreement. So I think it'd be very beneficial to have that in the lots.
I agree.
Make a motion.
Yep. Second.
So I will need, yeah. President. No, I probably won't have to attest. We'll have to have Matt attest that, don't you think? So you're not attesting your own.
Right, I'm not attesting my own signature, yes.
And then I guess write your name as an I there. You write Robert Brown, yes, and then there's one. And then we'll- Yeah. I mean, he's just signing that you guys passed it.
Right. Sure you did.
As a sign, as an I. Yeah.
There's one to sign, I thought there was one.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Sorry. Perfect. Okay. You're on time tonight.
Bid process for 6523.
Yeah, we kind of hit that already. I closed, we changed the process around, to more of an RFP process to where we sent out a list of requirements to the vendors and said, build us a truck, you have 3 weeks.
Okay,
That goes back to we've got 45 days to get a purchase order in the hands of them, so.
no questions about that?
Yes.
Lucas device,
We would like to go ahead and order the Lucas device for $15,867.20, which will be paid for by the Jefferson Foundation grant, which will receive that check here at the beginning of December. And then,
yeah,
yeah, put down 65 We,
that's the thumper.
that's a chest thumper. And we'll try to, go again and get another one before the board, so.
Kind of noticed if we ask for 2 things, we get 1, so I think next time I'm gonna ask for 3 or 4 things, maybe we'll get 2.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Make a motion to go ahead and get this going. All right.
Okay,
Part-time program. update?
yes. We've reached a point where we need to start hiring some of our own part-time employees. We have been using other part-time employees from other fire districts. And the list is starting to run very, very low. What are your guys' thoughts? Basically, if we hire them under our umbrella, we would require them to work a minimum amount of shifts, which I put in there for now at 10. It would be required to work 10 shifts and they would have to maintain 52 hours of training at a very minimum. If they cannot get them on shift, we would pay them minimum wage to come in for training hours outside of their duty time.
If they're paid part-time, then they can't volunteer.
You are correct. So, that's why the alarms outside of their shift hours would be limited to what they can respond to, which is equal to what we pay overtime to the full-timers. So it's written in here, all part-time firefighters are authorized to respond to the engine house. For the flowing types of incidents, that should be following types of incidents.
Right.
A call for all available manpower, so there's an outdoor search or something like that. A multiple truck response to either an in-district or out-of-district alarm of the following types of calls: structure fires, residential or commercial, vehicle accidents, vehicle rescues, vehicle fires, food fires, hazmat alarms, brush fires, specialized rescues, which does not include lockout, any other type of alarm approved by fire chief. That's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah, so yes, you are correct. They cannot volunteer and pay an hourly rate.
Do we have any applicants available to start this?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the downside is.
You lose volunteers, and you have to pay them. It's not a negative that we're paying them for training. We're paying them an hourly rate for training. You lose them for certain. Now, knowing these folks, they're going to still respond to some of these types of calls. It's not going to put in for the hourly. But we may get it. I don't think there's too many negatives. We've got 74 vacation days that have to be filled next year. That's not counting sick time. That's not counting people out quarantined on,
Right.
you know, COVID.
I think we're down to 8 or 9 part-timers, so without adding some,
And about 2 of them actually work shifts. So,
I don't have a problem with that.
No.
But everything going on is big.
I like to have at least a decent compliment. As well. I motion that approve it. Yes, signature chief.
no. Let's have it mentioned, we saw it. You would be signing one with spelling errors and addressing us. And, you know, it's my fault. Sorry.
Surplus equipment.
Yeah, with the replacement of the rescue tools, we've got surplus extrication equipment. I just want to know what you guys would like me to do with that surplus equipment. We could try to sell it. We could list it on Gov Deals, which is a website where government entities can try to sell to other government entities, basically. This equipment, we donate it. But all yours.
What's the value of it at this point?
This is the 2002, I think, 2004 Herset, so 18 years old. Probably not much.
Yeah. Probably not much.
Yeah, that's my next question. Who do you think?
I didn't find anybody that was interested in buying it, but I found a department that the only thing they have for education is a sawzall.
Oh, we gotta do better than that. Yeah.
My recommendation would be to donate it to the department.
Oh,
That's my-
yeah.
If it's something like that, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of people struggling.
I agree, donate it.
One of our new full timers lives in
Pontiac.
Pontiac. He's Pine, Missouri, I don't remember the county, but they have one set of tools for the entire county,
Wow.
so.
No.
No, we can't give it to them to take home.
No. Yeah, you gotta do the state fire marshal donation, you got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
No, it ended up in the scrap pile that way.
They'll use it to cut up.
Close session?
Yes.
About the longest meeting I can.
That was the hardest portion.
Okay, I'll open the, closed meeting at, 8:10.
Have you turned that off?
Oh, yeah, hold on a second.
All right. Right, if you're cheap. If you can't part-time here, you can still go volunteer to the Hill.
Yes.
Or someplace like that. But if you come here for a call, chances are, it's gonna be meet that specification.
You're fired.
Take this job.
Can't go anywhere.
Coming back out of, session, two votes were taken. And we did, also vote to, hire some part-timers. And they are again,
Stephanie Jackson.
yeah, Stephanie, Kelly Isaacson.
Yes.
Kate
And the most
Ritchie.
excited one is Gracie, she's gonna come work for us.
What? Yep.
Or.
He's gonna be assigned to me, he's gonna follow me around.
I'm gonna follow him around.
Yeah. All right. Nothing more before the board. I made a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we're out of here.
Stephanie gonna work part-time, if she got a regular job, and you gotta do 10 shifts a year.
She's a weekend.
That's like every
She's an
single,
outside
you have
also.
to do every single weekend.
She's an outside also.
She's got more comp time from all the hours she puts in. I got it. So she gets there, I'm gonna take off today and work here. Yes.
But I think